एक जीवन क्रान्तिलाई दिँदैछु सँगका साथी सदाको लागि छोडेर जाँदैछु लड्दा लड्दै ढलेको खबर घरमा पुर्याउनु.
The cultural program during the Maoist period was a diverse and vibrant mix of traditional and revolutionary elements. The Maoists used culture as a powerful tool to mobilize people and spread their message. Traditional Nepali culture was an important part of the Maoist cultural program. The Maoists revived and promoted traditional Nepali music, dance, and theater. They also used traditional Nepali symbols and imagery in their propaganda. The Maoists also created new forms of culture that were more directly related to their revolutionary goals. They wrote and performed songs, sketches, and plays that were critical of the government and promoted the Maoist cause. They also created new forms of visual art, such as posters and murals, that spread the Maoist message. The Maoist cultural program was performed in a variety of venues, including villages, towns, and cities. The Maoists also held large cultural festivals that attracted thousands of people.
जंगलबाट मुभ हुन सक्ने पोइन्टहरुलाई अलिकति जंगलबाट पनि वाच गर्नुला राम्रोसँग. दोस्रो कुरा पारी सम्भवले के बस्यो कि भन्दै हुनुहुन्थ्यो पारी खोला पारी त्यो खोला पारी बस्या छैन होला उले बाइनोकुलर राम्रो वाच गर्नुला है त.
During the 10-year People's War in Nepal, the Maoists effectively utilized technology, especially in the later years of the conflict, to communicate, coordinate, and spread their message. While their technology use was not as advanced as in some other conflicts, they employed various methods to achieve their goals. Communication. The Maoists used radios and sometimes mobile phones for communication among their cadres. Radios were particularly valuable for communicating in remote and mountainous regions where other forms of communication were difficult. They also used couriers for sensitive information to avoid electronic surveillance, propaganda, and recruitment. The Maoists utilized audio and videotapes, as well as printed materials, to spread their propaganda and ideologies. They distributed pamphlets, leaflets, and other materials to recruit new members and gain public support for their cause. Social media and online platforms. Towards the latter part of the conflict, as internet access became more widespread, the Maoists started using online platforms and social media to disseminate their messages. This included websites, online forums, and social networking sites. Cyber warfare. While not as sophisticated as state-sponsored cyber operations, the Maoists did engage in some low-level cyber activities, including defacing government websites and spreading propaganda online. However, their cyber capabilities were limited compared to major state actors. Information warfare. The Maoists used technology to wage information warfare. spreading their narrative and countering the government's messages. They utilized various media channels to challenge the official discourse and present their version of events to both domestic and international audiences. There is limited information available on specific instances of the Maoists hacking into radio and television broadcasts during the Nepalese People's War. However, it's well documented that the Maoists did engage in various forms of information warfare, including disseminating their messages through both legal and illegal means. Here's how they might have potentially disrupted radio and television broadcasts. Illegal transmissions. One method the Maoists might have used was illegal radio transmitters. They could set up their own broadcasting equipment in remote areas and broadcast their messages on frequencies used by mainstream radio and television stations, effectively disrupting regular programming with their own content. Jamming signals. Another technique used by insurgent groups globally is jamming official broadcasts. By transmitting interfering signals on the same frequency as a targeted radio or television station, the Maoists could disrupt the broadcast and replace it with their own content. Physical attacks. In some cases, Maoist insurgents might have physically attacked radio and television stations to take them offline and replace regular programming with their own propaganda materials. Co-opting existing infrastructure. In certain instances, the Maoists might have gained control over existing radio or television stations, coercing or convincing station personnel to broadcast their messages. This could involve threatening station staff or using force to take control of the broadcasting facilities. The Maoists used a variety of methods to hack into radio and television stations during the 10-year People's War. One common method was to use a device called a transmitter. A transmitter is a device that can be used to send radio or television signals. The Maoists would use transmitters to send their own programs over the airwaves, interrupting the regular broadcasts. Another method that the Maoists used was to hack into the computers of radio and television stations. This allowed them to change the content of the broadcasts or to shut them down altogether. The Maoists were also known to use violence to gain access to radio and television stations. They would sometimes attack stations and take control of them by force. Here are some specific examples of how the Maoists hacked into radio and television stations during the 10-year People's War. In 1996, the Maoists hacked into the radio station Radio Nepal and broadcast their own program. In 1997, the Maoists hacked into the television station Nepal Television and broadcast a program that was critical of the government. In 1998, the Maoists attacked a radio station in Rolpa district and took control of it. They used the station to broadcast their own programs. In 2000, the Maoists hacked into the computers of Nepal Television and changed the content of a news broadcast. The Maoists' use of radio and television was an important part of their propaganda strategy. They were able to use these media to reach a wide audience and spread their message. The Maoists' use of radio and television was also a way to challenge the authorities.